He's muted. You're muted, cousin. They can't hear you. They can't hear you.
And so I'll mute your mic and then they'll mute mine. So now I got to start over. Good morning, everybody. I'm the dummy behind the mic. I'm Brother Melvin. Just welcome to the room. This is a room production program we're doing this morning about. Let me put that sign back up there again. Since I wasn't talking, so you can hear me. We're gonna be. This is dealing with Sister Cynthia Wood. She is over the underground I Am Her movement. This is a movement to help brothers and sisters that's trapped in domestic violence, rape and sex trafficking, and things that sometimes you don't know who to call. Today, right. I'm gonna give you somebody you can call, Sister Cynthia Wood. This is I heard out on Facebook and I knew I knew it because this is my cousin. This is my cousin from my mother's side of the family, and I heard out there. I said, maybe I can do something to bring attention to what's going on right up on our nose, and ain't nobody paying no attention. It is an ugly something, and I think this program can bring it to the forefront. That's what I'm trying to do. So, Cynthia, go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience. Tell them who you are and what your program is about, and then we'll get into it.
Okay, my name is Cynthia Woods. I'm from Arkansas. This is my cousin Melvin, and we are the Underground I Am Her. We help take women, children, and men to safety when they're in domestic violence. They've been raped, been molested, or sex trafficking. We take women, children, and men across the country and throughout the nations to safety. It doesn't matter where you are. It's not a cost for that. This is what God has called us to do, and this is what we're doing.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So if my wife whooping me up, I can call you guys and
You can
y'all.
call me, we'll come pick you up and take you to wherever you want to go, whether it be a police station, a hospital, or a shelter, or to wherever you want to go in the country, as long as we know it's to a safe place. Now, we don't just send you on a vacation to wherever you want to go. We try to make sure that wherever we're sending you is to a safe location.
Now, this would come to mind. You guys can uh, run into some ugly situation trying to
Correct.
get somebody out of a
Mhm.
household, and it
Correct.
could be dangerous. So how do you guys go about doing that?
What we do first, we want to make sure that the person, because this is a problem that we run into sometimes. We want to make sure that that person is really ready to leave and not just in an argument and want to go back. We want to make sure that when we're picking up people that they are really ready to leave. And what we do is we take police in with us. Of course, we have protection as well, but we want to call the police and make sure that the police know that what we're doing and that they meet us there. So we're not just going in dry. We want to make sure that when we're going in, we take police with us.
Right, because I know they can be a very dangerous situation.
It's a very dangerous situation. You can run into one situation where the man was actually beating her at the time, and we took police in. He had just destroyed everything in the house. So we want to make sure when we go in that we're taking you to a safe location and that we're not being followed as well. So we go in as a comrade. We come in as several cars following each other, making sure that when we take a person to safety, that they are being taken to safe and that we're not being followed as well.
Right. So you guys got this situation. What y'all do is this set up in every state that you guys do it in? You know,
Yes, sir. We
the
have
police.
liaisons in every state that we are, and it's growing as we are talking. And so there are liaisons in different states. Like I'm in Dallas now, and then it started in Arkansas. We have liaisons in Chicago as well as Atlanta. So it's starting. We're getting it going. But wherever you call, we've taken women and men and children across the country already to safety. We also have. We have the underground I Am Her in Africa. So we have women there, about 20 women that are under our covering as well. So it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in Canada, it doesn't matter where you are. We will take you to safety. I've been through it. A lot of women have been through it. We have a team that's on the ground that makes sure that where we're taking women and children is safe.
Okay, and that's a good thing because that's what I know. You got to be going in sometimes some violent situation and and
Yes.
but
It's not
then but a key something you said earlier was that not somebody just calling because you got into a big argument and then we
right.
come and do all this stuff and you be back over there in the morning.
Right, exactly. We ran into that before, and they go back, and that's we can't control them going back, but we want to make sure that they are ready, really ready to go. Now, if they're in a situation where they are being beat in the moment, I've heard even a neighbor where I live being beat in the moment. I just can't go knock on that door and do something about it. What I can do is call the police. I know some people say it's not any of my business. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, you are. You don't have to be at the door, knocking at the door, but you can call police when you are hearing someone being beat, and it still is their choice to leave. But what you want to do is to get them the help because you don't know how that could escalate and be devastating, or death could take place. And deaths have taken place. People are in prison because of it. So we want to be able to help someone when they're going through something like that.
Right. So, like just you stay in an apartment, you hear a lot of furniture being moved around and somebody screaming and hollering,
Mhm.
call the
Mhm.
police. Call the
Right,
police,
exactly.
and like you say, you can't, but then some of these people be living under so much fear, so much
Mhm.
fear. If I leave, he gonna come and kill me. So I got to stay,
Right.
so now you got to have people to try to talk to them and let them understand that you got to make a choice.
It's a choice, and that's the thing is that when we're in certain situations, we feel like we can't make it without that person, and that what makes a lot of people stay and a lot of people don't want to leave because of the children. If you're in a violent situation, you're in domestic violence, you've been raped, you're being molested, and sex trafficking, that is not a reason to stay because of the kids. You want to make sure that you are in a healthy relationship. Nobody, even the Bible states that God wants us to be happy. And so nobody wants to be in a relationship where that person does not care, is fighting on us every day. That is not love. That is not love whatsoever. And
That
I've
ain't
dealt
nothing
with
but
it.
violence.
Right.
But then like with the kids, so when you come in, can y'all get those kids out at the same time? Do they have to go through some kind of court system before you can remove them out of the home?
When we go in and we're taking the mom to safety, the kids are included as well. If the police are brought in and they see that the parent or the whomever, whether it be male or female, does not want to leave that violent situation, the police can take over and take those kids and remove them out of that home. And that's the best, because what you don't want to create is a child learning how to be violent as they grow older. And that's what happens. They either are a victim or they grow older and become the abuser, and that's what you don't want to happen.
No, you don't want that to happen. But there's so much of this going on, and sometimes we don't recognize because it's might not be in our homes or
Right.
next door neighbor, but this is not no little bitty son. This is a
It's
big son.
this has been going on for a long time. This happened to me 34 years ago. My daughter's 34 right now, and I married him. He was abusing me before we married, and I thought at the young age I said, well, when we get married, then it'll be better. It was worse. It was
So,
even worse.
before you go any further, that's what we've been talking about. Now you is a actual that I am her. That was you at one time.
The I am her. God talked to me about this, and he said you have to go back and bring the women forward, kind of like what Harriet Tubman did. You got to go back and you got to get them and bring them forward, because this used to be me. And a lot of us are still dealing with that now. We have not recovered. We're wondering why the lady at the cash register is mean. She's not mean because she's just mean. She's probably going through something. I'm not saying it's necessarily this, but we just never know what people are going through and have never recovered from it. We have to get to a point to where we can recover from it and that we can be in our purpose and help others. And that's why God brought me through. So the underground was actually taken from Harriet Tubman, because we have to go underground sometimes to go and get these women. But God reminded me, because I said it's not complete. I can't use the Underground Railroad because that belongs to Harriet Tubman. But he said, remember, you were her. You are her. So the underground, I am her. I'm not just doing this because I'm just doing it. I want people to know that I used to be her, and now I'm recovered. And so there are people on our platform, people that are a part of us that have healed from it. And we welcome volunteers. You're welcome to volunteer, but we ask people that are going to speak to only speak if they're healed, because we don't want people talking and then they haven't been healed.
Right. So now back to you. You said you was dating this gentleman when you was and now that's the part I can't figure that out about a woman. You supposed to, pay attention. God give you warnings. And when you got a man that's crazy, I don't
Right.
know why we don't never leave, or you got a woman that's crazy.
Exactly.
So
It's,
you married this man
I'm
thinking
married. Yep.
he would
We
treat
were
you better.
we were dating right before high school. Before I graduated, and he was beating. My mom never knew that he was in her house beating me. She never noticed. She didn't know. And my mom comes from an abusive marriage as well. And so I figured, being young, 17, 18, thinking, okay, when I marry him, that he won't do this because I'm his wife. It was worse. It was worse. It was 4 years
Taking
of
his
being
property,
beat.
he feel.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I was pregnant. He's threatening the door downstairs, going to school with wearing turtlenecks like I have on today to cover up bruises so nobody could tell. I went through it for 4 years. And my mom was the one that brought me to reality. She said, listen, you're either going to come home or we're going to bury you, because he was military. And so she said, either you're going to come home or we're going to be going to a funeral for you if you don't come home. It was bad. It had bruises everywhere, every day. It was ongoing. So if you need help, love does not hit. It
Don't
doesn't
do
leave
all that.
bruises on you. That's not love. And I know it's hard when you feel like you're in love with somebody and you don't want to leave. That's not love. Love does not hurt. It does not harm. It does not. And physical abuse and mental abuse is just as worse, because you have mental abuse that stops a lot of people. I just brought a lady to safety who was in the school. She was a parent, and her daughter, we could tell that the baby, she's 2 years old, we could tell that the baby was in abuse. She would bring the baby in and have bruises all over her face, and she was just saying that she was falling. And then one day she finally admitted that she was being abused by the husband. The husband had been called the police. They had called the police on the husband because she had went into a CVS and he was outside in the car beating the child in the car. She's just two. That's not love. That's not love. Don't
That's
stay for your children
crazy.
or for somebody else. That's not good.
And the thing is, what I'm listening is, yeah, when you wearing the turtlenecks and you putting
Yeah.
stuff on, you are protecting a abuser.
An abuser. I was,
Right.
because I thought I was in love, but I was not in love. That's not love. Being threatened to throw down stairs, being threatened to be pushed out of a car, that is not healthy. And then the bad part about it, and it took a long time for my daughter. She's grown up now. He made her think that I was never abused, that he never abused me. And my mom was the one that finally convinced her. So we have to help each other. There's a purpose that God has for each one of us, and we can't be in purpose if we are in this type of situation. It's important that we help each other. You don't have to be the one knocking at the door if you hear something, but you can be the one that you can call the police and help that person.
Well, I'll hold on for a minute. We're gonna come back. I want to put your sign back up so we can for they know what this program is about.
Yes,
This
sir.
is what it's about. Let me get that out of there at the bottom. Uh, uh, somebody abusing my cousin. I used to know I was almost violent when I was young. But
Right.
somebody hurting my family members, I would,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm it's you get to thinking sometimes when somebody be I'm just gonna put that sign up. We can continue to talk, but people can see
Yes,
what
sir.
the program is about. Uh, uh, but the number you want to call is you want to call that number, that number that's rolling under the bottom of the stream. I will
Yes,
put
sir.
it back up. I'm gonna put up the email. Do not call me because I am helping do this thing. This is not part of the Israel of God. This is my cousin, and to know that she went through some of the things that she went through, and now she's out here with a program that's trying to help others that's going
Yes.
through this. So that's what I'm doing, just trying to help. So make sure you write down the email if you know somebody that's going through this. You got a family, because sometimes people don't really understand. They
Mm-hmm.
really think somebody loved them.
Right.
Well,
Right.
it's me, and they start making feel that the person make them seem like they are the one that
Mm-hmm.
is the problem.
Right.
And so this is a good program. It's a good thing that you're doing. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Now you was telling me, so you say you guys can get somebody home from wherever, you
We
know.
can get you home from wherever you are in the United States or across the land. We have gotten women home to safety. I have a company out of California. She's gone through the same thing, and she just wants to help make sure that people get home safety. All I have to do is call her, and I have to just show her a receipt of where they're going, and she pays for it. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. We're not charging anybody to take them home safety. We just want you to get back to safety. This is not where we just take you on a vacation to where you want to go.
Right.
We want to make sure that when we call, that's a safe place that you're going to, not just want to get off the bus and just start a new life anywhere. We don't want to do that because we don't know where you're going in that. But we want to make sure that we're getting you to either a police station, a hospital, a shelter, or back to your family, back to a safe location. That's what we want to make sure that we do. On the last situation that I just talked about, we had police follow her all the way to the shelter. They rode with her all the way to the shelter to make sure that he wasn't following her. So that's what we do. That's what we're here for. We're not here to just make sure, just drop you off. And once we've gotten you to the safe location, we are here for you for however long you're needing us. We don't just go away just because we dropped you off. We're here to help you throughout your process.
Now, another something I was thinking about while she was talking about that. What about, sometimes you take people to their family member, and then sometimes you put them in danger. Now,
Right.
you done took them somewhere, say, look, don't call this guy before you
Mhm.
can find out where you at. And then
That's what recently. That's what I was telling you when we were talking earlier. We had a 17-year-old call us and needed to get to safety, and we took her to a safe location, but they didn't want her there, so we went back in to get her to another safe location. So we don't just go away once we drop you off. We're here as long as you need us. If you go to safety and then 2 years later you need us, we're still here. We have ministers and ministry in place. We have a prophet in Africa who's over the women in Africa. He's a pastor there that we have that'll come in and pray. We have Evangelist Kimberly Woods, who will also come in and pray. So this is not just something we're just dropping you off and letting you go. We're here to help you through your process.
And like I said, this is I was just looking at how many, and now that's just abuse. And then we got the sex trafficking. When these women that disappear,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
do you guys get off into the one that disappear and try to reload, find those, especially among the black, there's been
Right.
a lot of black young ladies disappeared,
Right.
and the police don't do they ain't gonna put that hard search out. How do you
Exactly.
guys get involved in that?
I have a young lady. She's from up north, from Chicago. Now we got her back home. Her mom called me and said that her and her daughter was not getting along. She sent her to Arkansas. She came to Arkansas, and her sister weren't getting along. She met this guy online, and the guy took her from a part of Arkansas to where I live, and took her into these apartments, and 3 other guys were in there to sex traffic her. She's 18 years old. She looks out the window she's there for 3 days. Now, I don't know if the apartment place where they were at were kind of working together with her on this, because for some reason they couldn't lock her in there. But she decided that once she seen somebody outside, she was going to take a run for it. And she did. She ran into the hands of my church member, and they called me, and I went and got her. And of course, I have protection because that's what we have. That's what we do, and it's registered. It's legal. And I tell her, go straight to the car. Don't look. Don't blink. Get in the car, because I don't know if they're around in the area. And I took her to a shelter, and we got her back to Chicago. She's 18 years old, you guys. It's out there. It's strong. They're finding new ways to sex traffic your child. Just say, this is what a school told me, that what they're doing is they'll ask your child to spend the night, and then they take your child to Memphis or a couple hours away and sex traffic your child. You think your child is spending the night with a friend, and then come back the next day or in a couple hours and your child's been sex trafficked. That's the new way of doing it these days. We have to wake up. We have to speak up. We can't be afraid to say something. We can't be afraid to be our brother's keeper, our sister's keeper. We have to say something. You don't have to be the police knocking on the door, but you can be that sound piece that helps that person get back to safety or get to safety. It's imperative. This is such a big secret. It's been such a secret from back in the ice ages when my mom was little. My mom was abused. My daughter didn't know my daughter was being abused, and I've been through abuse. She was being abused by her boyfriend. We have to wake up and help another person. If you hear it, if you see it, you got to pay attention and look and see. People are not walking around with bruises on their faces for anything. It's for a reason. We have to help each other. We have to go back, just like Harriet Tubman did. She went back 600 miles to bring the people to freedom. We have to go and help the people and bring them to where they need help. And the kids are being involved in this as well. We cannot sleep on this. We have to wake up.
Yeah, that's why when I heard you out there, it caught my attention. I said, if I can use this podcast to get this out to the world and let them know this ain't no little thing that's going on. It's a
And then,
lot of young girls missing here in Chicago. A
and then
lot of them.
the problem with it too is that if you have little kids, you're teaching them how to be abusers, or you teach them how to survive from it, and that's not good. You can't stay in this situation because of you think that you love them, and you probably do. But the unhealthy part about it is that they are striking you, they are hitting you, and that is not healthy for your kids. And this 2-year-old that was going through that, she was afraid when we touched her in certain spots or go to grab her, she would just jump. You are creating a child that's gonna have problems later on, and what you don't want them to do is live this out to their 13, 14 years old, and then they grow up to be an abuser. You have to get help for yourself and for your kids. And what's happening now is DHS is involved, CPS is involved, Child Protective Services, and he's not even allowed to see the child. And that's what you don't want to happen. You want to be able to do this on your own without getting law enforcement and judges involved and taking your children from you, because that's what's going to happen. So you have to be very, very careful. We have to care about ourselves more than just saying, I love this person. That person needs help. Way before you came involved with them, they need help. And until they get some help, it's not helping you.
So they can't hear. I can't hear. Who else is still having problem hearing? Is you guys having problem hearing us?
I think that was earlier.
Oh, okay. Well, this guy just said at 11:28. That was 2 minutes ago.
Okay. Okay.
Everybody can hear okay out there now.
Mm-hmm.
I know they can hear because they're responding to the
Yes, sir.
to the conversation. But like I said, it's things that the people that's righteous. See, the righteous people, we got to do something. We got to stand up. You just can't keep saying, on my program daily, I always say we got to pray for our children because they'll pray out here, and teach your young daughters when they walking down the street to get this phone out of their face while they walking, because somebody back there with a van will grab pull you in that van,
and you'll be sex trafficked just that quickly because you're not paying attention. Some things we have to go back to the old school on and teach our sons and our daughters, because I've had men call me. They don't want now. With men, they don't want anybody to know that they're being abused or in this type of situation. We have to wake up and help people. We have to enlighten our children and let them know, hey, don't just think it's okay. When I was younger, my mom didn't let us spend the night at a lot of people's houses. It's just old school because of what's happening. People are being molested. People are being raped. People are not responding until they get older. You never knew your child was being raped. So we have to listen to that inner person too, which is God telling us, hey, I don't know if you can spend the night tonight with them. I don't know. I got to get to know them. I never did let my children spend the night. And I tell them in a minute, I don't know them. So we have to be very careful.
Now, some of them, you just say you don't know them, but I'm gonna tell you, this one I kind of preach this to my family. You can't let your kid even go with your other cousin and stuff, because you don't know how their household is being ran. And a lot of kids get molested when they around other in family.
Exactly. Around family members.
Against other family members.
Exactly.
Don Lemon, the guy that was used to be on CNN News. He said he was molested by some of his family members. A lady on that's part of my program that be on my program called me about her son got molested by one of family members. So brothers and sisters, it's just we got to get that grip back on our children and just say, hey, I'll get you the games. You can play your games at home. What I like about these games now, they can actually have a game, but they can play with the boy next door on
Exactly.
TV. That's a
Exactly.
good thing. Might cost you
Exactly.
some money. I'd rather you to play with him on TV
Exactly.
playing game than to be in his house, because I don't know what go on in his house.
Exactly. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. A lot of our members, our team that's with the underground, I Am Her, have been molested, been raped, been in domestic violence. We have some women that don't have their back teeth that have been knocked out. We have some women that have been raped since they were younger up until now. And so we have to get the word out. This is such a bad word, such quiet, nobody tell or don't tell situation. We have to learn to speak out and say it and tell it, because so many are going through from when they were younger until they're grown now, and they have never dealt with this situation, and they're still going through. They're walking around angry, or they're walking around with this embedded in them and never been able to talk about it. It's time to talk about it. It's time to heal from it. It's time to get in purpose so we can help others heal from it as well.
Right. So you went through it. How are you really doing?
I'm healed from it. I learned it took God to, because that happened like 30 something years ago. And so it took God to really help me to forgive him for what he's done. I can speak to him today and see him today, no issues with him. Because you have to learn how
You
to
don't
heal
want
from
to
it.
slap him.
Right. Everybody heals at a certain time. Everybody doesn't heal from it. Might take you 2 or 3 years to heal from it, but I had to heal from it immediately so that I wouldn't take it out on the next person that I was with. And so
Right.
I chose to heal early. Now, what kind of hindered a little bit is when my daughter was told that it never happened, and it took my mom to make her to believe that he was abusive, because he's never admitted to it. So, and from what I understand, he's been abusive to other people as well. My prayers are still with him that he's healed today, and we'll stop that. And that's what you want to do. You want to heal quickly. You don't want to have that following you until you're grown, from when you were little, or in your marriage, or your children see this happening to you. You want to heal quickly so you can be able to heal them. And remember, love does not strike and does not hit.
Right.
It does not do that. That's not love. That's not real love.
So I don't mean to get all in your personal business, but
Mhm.
how is your relationship towards your man now, since you went through that?
I'm not in a marriage right now, but I never took that to the next place, to the next marriage, because I wanted to heal from it. I did not. I was in church at the time, and I quickly learned how to forgive him for it. It took a minute though, because it was very abusive. When you're walking around and your mom is telling you either you're gonna come home or we're gonna bury you, that's very serious. And one of the ugly things about it that I can say, even when he was ordered to bring all of my things from where we lived back to my mom's house, because that's what when I came back, I went to my mom's house. He threw everything in my mom's driveway and broke a lot of things that I had. And my stepdad said, "Don't get off the porch, because if you do, if he does anything, he won't be able to talk about it anymore." So that's how violent that he was. We don't want to be in relationships with people that are violent like this. It takes control. It's a mind. It starts with the mind thing. It starts with controlling and hitting just a little bit, just to see how much they can control you. Do not allow a person to begin this with you. It's a long road back to to being healthy, and that's what you don't want to happen. And it happens with men and happens with women, but our children are subject to this. They're dealing with this, and then they go on to grow up and they're having issues from it. They go to school and they're having problems. You're wondering why your child can't function in school, because they're dealing with this from home. We have to wake up and get help. And we need that from the church. We need that from the people. We need that from police officers and our neighbors. You can hear one. I'm gonna tell you what happened one morning, and you will not believe this. I was walking my dog. I work overnight so I can be at home in the daytime and answer calls and what have you. It was 6 o'clock in the morning. I was walking my dog. On the backside of these houses, I could hear a woman screaming. My dog stopped in mid walk and turned his head. She was being beat in that moment. In that moment, I walked up the hill. You could hear it. And if I can hear it, and I live on the backside of her house, the people around her that live next door to her can hear this. you don't have to get out of your house and go knock on the door,
Right.
but you
You don't
can
have to
call
come
the
front
police.
us.
So I called the police. The man comes out on the porch. He's cursing my dog because my dog is looking at him. But I had already called the police. You can be your brother's keeper without walking up to the door, without calling that person. I know if I hear it walking from the backside of their house around from another street, her neighbor, she's screaming to the top of her voice because he's
Everybody
beating
knows
her in that moment, you guys. You gotta help that person. You have to.
we in that stage now. I don't want to get involved, but we got to get involved
You gotta get
because
involved.
even just say if the woman was and did something, but he ain't, a man ain't got no business whooping no woman just because he did something. You leave, you know.
Exactly.
So when you
Exactly.
hear that, no, you don't want to get involved face to face, but that's why
Right.
we got these cell phones. You can
Right.
call and say, there's something going on in this house,
Right. And the most
And you can do
hurtful
that.
part about it all is that we've seen a few people go back. They've gone back to that abuser. You know what I'm saying? And all we can do in that moment is pray for them and hope that God keeps them safe where they don't lose their lives. But if you're in a situation where you're with somebody that is abusing you mentally as well as physically, that is just as worse. The mental abuse is about controlling you. And the
Right.
physical abuse is probably what they seen or been through. They probably been through something that was never healed in them, and you can't change them. You can't help. They have to want the help for themselves. You could be married to them for a lifetime, and until they get the help themselves, you cannot help them. You think
Yeah.
that you cannot help them until they go and get the help that they need.
Let me ask you this, about due to the fact that you deal with this. Let's start with the children. What is a kind of sign that you might see, in a child that know that something ain't going right in that home? Either
That
child is being molested or something.
that 2-year-old that we had at the school, she was very jumpy and scared. As when you try to reach out to her, she was just scared. Or when you try to give her to somebody, she was just afraid and scared. And that doesn't always mean that, but when you had the regular teachers all the time, that you got to look into that. And then I'm gonna say this is, and I'm not gonna be graphic about it, but I'm just gonna say it so you can understand. When they were changing her pampers, she had a constant, all the time rash. It never went away. And so you have to look into stuff like that. And then one of her foot was just turned, and it shouldn't be turned like that. But we learned that he was abusing the child as well. You can still call CPS just to do a wellness check on people. You can do
Right.
wellness checks on people. It doesn't hurt anybody. You can send the police over there and say, "Hey, I don't know what's going on. Can you do they'll do a wellness check in 5 minutes on a person to just to check on them to make sure that they're okay." So there's
Right.
nothing wrong with that. Don't feel like you've done something wrong because
No.
you feel like something is
You're
going
just
on.
trying to help, because the worst sum to me is somebody abusing a child.
Mhm.
Abuse ain't no good abuse. But
Right.
when you're abusing a helpless child, and then the
Mhm.
child is afraid, and sometimes, and when they're old enough, they're ashamed.
They're ashamed about it.
They're
And that's what
ashamed.
that's what the abuser does. It is to put fear in you to never tell. And then when you finally, some of them, when they finally do tell, they're grown ups. And that's it worked. They never wanted you to know or to go to jail for it or what have you. We have to start speaking. We have to pay attention. I would ask my kids, even though my brothers and my fathers were not, but you still can ask a child, what happened today? How was your day? What went on? Don't be afraid you got to let your kids know, hey, don't be afraid to tell me anything. You can always come to me. You got to keep that door open with your children, even if
Right.
it's something
Anybody
that you might not want to hear. Yeah.
catching you a certain way,
Yes.
and you let people you let your child know. Don't nobody have no business putting their hand in your private area, and you
Exactly.
have
You
to
have
teach
to,
them that this now, because this world is 100% wicked. And
right.
we got to step up to the plate to save our children from this thing. We got to keep our children at home.
I would ask my children right out, is anybody touching you? And not saying that, and no, none of my family did, but did Papa touch you? And did Uncle touch? You got to ask those questions. There's nothing wrong with asking those questions so you can see. It doesn't put fear in your child. It doesn't make them think anything, but you have to ask questions because you don't know the stories that some of the women here on our team, and like I said, they have to be healed on this team, have gone through since they were in school, since they were in younger, and they've carried it on, and it took them years to get over it. You have to ask questions, and there's nothing wrong with asking questions. There's nothing wrong with wondering and wanting.
Because I remember this. This was on the Oprah Winfrey show a long time ago. Not maybe about 10 or 12 years. This brother that got all the way to professional football. He played for the New York Jets, and and what happened? His coach at high school kind of caught some because he jumped on his best friend, and the coach, the Lord's hand was in it. And the coach saw some. He called him. I'll use the word. He called him a faggot, and the boy went off on him. And the coach said, "Wait a minute, yeah, these two guys are tight." And the coach called him in the office and talked to him, and the boy broke down and started crying. He became a professional football player, good football player with the New York Jets, and then he started crying. And the coach, they set it up, and you know what was so dirty, low down about it? The mother brought this man in that's supposed to be a Christian man.
Wow.
And what happened? Wouldn't do nothing with the mother. No, we can't do nothing. We dating. We can't do nothing until we get married. And all the time, he was molesting her son.
Wow. That's something.
I'm talking it's some dirty, low down stuff. This is the world that we live in, and that's what puzzles me. Sometimes we be too cautious. You got to be. My mama, it was going. You ain't no need us talking about it. Thinking it's been going on here since the world been here. I'm glad my mama was real tight. I was boys. Me and my last three brothers. I come from a big family, 14 of them. But my mother used to be real strict about who you can go with, where you can go. Because
exactly. It needs to be that way. It needs to be that way. I want to say to one of our people that's in our chat, his name is Daju. He has, thank you for being so transparent about being an abuser to your wife, and now that y'all are healing, that's a great thing. And you admitted
Let me see, and I pull that comment back up.
And that you were being beaten as you were younger. Sometimes, if the younger kids, if we don't get help for our kids, they sometimes become abusers. So I want to just recognize you and say thank you for. You said that God is in y'all's situation now, is healing y'all's relationship. That is awesome. That is awesome. Keep on that road. Keep listening to God. Keep trusting God and being a healer to others that might be in this situation as well. Thank you for being transparent, because it's hard to admit something like that you've done that, and now that your relationship is better with your wife. That is awesome.
Praise God for that. As young men, sometimes we try to be tough and think we can control women. But, and some just take it a little bit too far.
Exactly.
And but I'm glad the brother admit that he was one of them. And and I'm told it's so. And the scary part about it, these be church folks. These be church folks. Whether in the Sunday church or whether in the Sabbath day keeping church, they be up doing this.
Right.
And they let me know they don't really have no fear of God. Because but now
we are here to help you through this process, to get you through it. I know like I said, it's a hard word to even say sometimes, but just admitting that you need the help is the first start. Call us. We are the Underground. I am her. Most of us have been here. We have ministers on and available to minister to you as well. We can take you to a location no matter where you are in the United States. Do not go through this alone. We want you to be healed in your situation and ready to go. We don't want you just to go through an argument for a couple of days and want to go back. We want you to get to a healing place, because like the young man admitted, if you are younger and you went through this and you've seen your parents go through this, you don't want to take this throughout your whole life as far as being married and in a relationship, and now you are the abuser. You want this to be turned around as you're young, as your children are young. Do not allow your children to continue to go through this. We are the underground I Am Her. We help take women, children, and men to safety when they're in domestic violence, been raped, or been molested, or sex trafficking. We have the help that you need. Anybody can call us. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter 24 hours a day. You can call us at 878-444-0766. It doesn't matter the time of day that you call us. You can call us now and we're going to respond to you. We just want to take you to safety and make sure that you're getting the help that you need so you can go through this process and help somebody else get to where they need to be.
I agree 100%. And you know, just you know, it's this is the time where although the Bible mentioned in Matthew
Mhm.
24 that love gonna wax cold, and right
Right.
now love have waxed cold because God called it, and we living it. But the love that gonna wax cold is the people that don't know God, and
Right.
what you got to do,
Hmm.
you got to look out for your brothers and sisters. You know,
Right.
somebody at work. Maybe you can ease over to a sister at work, and you notice she kind of,
Yeah.
protected and acting a
Hmm.
little strange, and you ain't just a sister. I don't mean you get in your business. Maybe if you see it and you're a brother, take maybe a sister with you, and y'all
Hmm.
talk to the sister. Say,
Hmm.
sister, everything right in your house.
But you
You know,
know what happens though? A lot of people just close their eyes. They don't want to deal with it. It's not any of my business unless that person comes and talks to me. We can sit next to that person and see bruises on that person on their faces, and we won't even say a word because we feel like it's none of our business. We have to stop being like that because people, you're gonna see that person in the news. You're gonna see that person in the newspaper, and wish you could have just said something. You might not even have the right words to say, but just say, "Do you need help? I can help you if you need help." You might not even have the answers that they need, but stop closing your eyes to something that you see that's right before you. They might not know. Like the woman with the child, the husband had her phone so tied up that even if she texts somebody, I don't even know how he did it. Even if she texts somebody, even if wherever she went, he had the phone so tied up. He knew where she was going. He knew who she was texting. He could see it from his phone. It's some new technology. We
yeah,
have to stop sleeping on people.
right,
Sometimes people are giving us the signs or saying the words, and
right,
we just don't want to be involved. It's none of my business. I don't want to be involved. You have to get involved. You have to, especially when the signs are there. You have to say, "Sis, brother, do you need help? Is there something I can do? What is it that you need?" Because what we did was when we found out that he had her phone, was tracing her phone, we had her turn off all her phone completely off so she can stop being traced. That
right.
is that is control. That is controlling. It starts with controlling you, and then once it leads to something else, then it's more devastating than ever before. So it begins with controlling you first. You can see the signs. The signs are there. It's even in the kids. You can see it in the kids
Right.
as
And,
well.
and you got to be able to, whoever if somebody even out there listening, you got to, uh, uh, get just enough nerve to make a move with this thing. You can't
Exactly.
allow and stay in a situation until it
Exactly.
lead to somebody getting killed or your
Exactly.
children's
Exactly.
getting killed. And
Exactly.
he's a and then let's go back to the head of the problem. Brothers and
Mhm.
sisters, girls, young ladies, don't be so hungry for a man that you
Exactly.
accept anything.
Exactly.
You see the
Exactly.
sign, like you say, you saw the sign
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
you make
Sometimes.
the error. And sometimes you see the sign and you still, you got to learn it's best to have no man than to have an
Exactly.
abusive man.
An abusive one. Exactly. Because that's
Abusive
not
man.
healthy. It's not healthy for you. And
And
like I said, my mom never did know, and he only did it when she wasn't there or up because my mom had a big house and where she couldn't hear, and I never said a mumbling word. She never knew. We
mhm,
have to wake up. We have to wake up. We have to go back and get the ones that need help. If you are that person today and you are just afraid, please give us a call. There's two numbers. You can call my direct, I'll give that number out. My direct number is 501-416-0031. Or you can call the line. We have a line that everybody can call. It's 878-444-0766. I can almost be willing to tell you that everybody that's on this line knows one person that they think they might be being beat or being raped or being molested or sex trafficking, that you just are not paying attention to the signs. The signs are there. They are there. And in little kids, they'll almost tell you. Little kids talk a lot. They tell a lot. They will almost tell you when they're going through something, and you can hear it. We hear it and we don't want to pay attention to it because we don't want to deal with it. It's not my issue. That's their problem. Stop making it be just their problem. Be your problem and call the police. It doesn't, you can do a wellness check. It's not going to hurt anybody. The police is just coming to do a wellness check. We're coming to make sure you're okay. And the police is not going to walk away when they see something like that. So do a wellness check just to be sure.
Yeah, we are living in a very a cruel time, and the one that got some kind of feeling, some kind of love, true love for their brothers and sisters. We got to stand up. We got to stand up and help. Now, you guys are a non-profit organization, right?
We're a nonprofit organization. We don't charge anything, but if people wanting to donate, that's fine. We do have an underground I Am Her closet where we take clothes in, because we might get a person in the middle of the night or in the daytime and they're leaving with nothing but what they have on. We have a closet with shoes and hair and jewelry and makeup and what have you, clothes or what have you, because they could be running for their lives and they can't take anything. Like the lady with the 2-year-old, she left that day from work, and her daughter, it was a good thing that the daughter had clothes at school. We gave her the clothes that were at school, but she left with just nothing on her back. And so we do have that. It's called the Underground I Am Her Closet. And we do take donations in for that. We'll take regular donations. If you're wanting to donate something as well, you can email us and we'll call that number.
Call this number. Call this 800 number. Don't you guys
And please join us on Facebook under the Underground I Am Her. Tap into that. I'm Cynthia Woods. You can tap into that as well. We're on YouTube as well. So tap into it. There's ways that you can get the information out to us. If you don't feel like the person can call or has the strength to call us. We'll call them if you want. We've done that before as well. We'll call them and make sure that they're safe and where they need to be as well. So it's sometimes a person's not strong enough to make that call, and maybe you are that safe haven that they need to call. So, and this is out there. It's not going away fast, but we sure can help it by being that sounding voice that person needs to get it out. Let's be that Harriet Tubman and go back and get those women, get those men, get those children, and bring them to safety. Remember, Harriet Tubman, she traveled back 600 miles to go and bring the people from slavery up to freedom. Let's go back and get them. No matter which way you have to do it, just go back and help any way that you can. Be that sound. You can even text us and say, hey, this is the information. Can you call and do a wellness check? We'll do a wellness check. We'll send the police out to Virginia to do a wellness check on whomever it is that you're thinking needs help. We are here to help.
Right. And I was thinking of something while she was saying that it would have Harriet Tubman. Well, look, she said the hardest problem she had was to convince the people that they were slaves.
Right.
And I guess
they didn't even think they were slaves.
Right. Right. So I can see your hardest problem is to convince people you need to get out of this.
Yeah, that's the hardest part that we deal with, because they're still in denial that they are being abused. They think that person might love them, but that's not the way that we show love. I see that Paula Isabel, she's asking for the Facebook page name again. The Facebook page is called The Underground I Am Her, and it has the emblem on it that he showed. And my name on Facebook, it has that same emblem. It's red and everything. It's called The Underground I Am Her. And I am Cynthia Woods on Facebook as well. We will come to wherever you are to take you to safety. We don't want to leave anybody left behind who needs help. And if that person that you know does not have a voice to say it, we will be that voice. We will send the police to do a wellness check on that person for anybody that you think that might need help. It's in your face. You just don't want to see it because you're hurt as well. But you can see it. It's there. And you're also, Miss Paula, you are also welcome to donate to the Underground I Am Her. You can email us or you can call us. We can tell you how to donate as well to the organization. Like I said, we also take we take clothing, shoes, whatever it is, because that person might be running in the middle of the night and might need something. So if you have some clothes and shoes, Mr. and Mrs. that you haven't worn in a long time or you have never worn, give it to the Underground. God has allowed you to buy those items to give to us so we can give it to women that are in need.
All right, let me get that out of the way here. And so, brothers and sisters, we're gonna wrap this up. We've been on an hour already. But brothers and sisters, you heard this will remain on Facebook and YouTube, and I hope more people can check it out. And please, I have to remind you because y'all do not listen. Do not call me. Do not call me. Let me put the number back up.
Yes, sir.
Again, because you know. This is the number that you want to call for help. But we got to do this. We got to help. Whatever you want to, you call that number. If you want to donate, you can donate to them. You can call this number. You got clothes or something that you can give that can help out, brothers and sisters. And hopefully down the road we will be back on again and let people know about this. If we serving a God, we got to do other than just preach the word. We have to get out and help the people that's in need. So write this number down: 1-800.
It's 878-444-0766. I also want to say to Josephine Smith, you're welcome to help in any way that you think that you can. We're asking for volunteers around the country. We're also asking for liaisons to take over a state and help us to be that safe point to where if you need help, they can call the number and you can help get them to safety as well. So you're welcome to help. You're welcome to donate monetarily. You're welcome to also give whatever you have that may be laying around the house that can help them as well. Thank you so much for allowing me to come today. My cousin, we appreciate it. We are the Underground I Am Her. We're not going nowhere. We're here to take them to safety.
Right. I thank you, my sister, my cousin, and that you chose. You didn't have to do this, but you chose to do it. And I pray that, that you can get the help that you need, that this program can grow.
Yes, sir.
A big program. And hopefully somebody can call and get you guys hooked up to them grants and that you can get from the government, that y'all can go forward with it. And
we also, whatever, if you want us to come to your church or to your organization to speak, we do that as well. Just give us a call and let us know what you're needing. If you need us to come and do a wellness at your church or at your job or wherever you are, we can do that as well.
All right, brothers and sisters, I do cuz I really appreciate you coming on, and it was my pleasure to bring you on to get this information out, because this is very important. It's too hidden, and this is the way we can get it out, that people can, can help one another, because we got to help in these situations like this. We got to help one another, because this abusive thing, it's not backing down. It's getting worse.
It's getting worse. It's getting worse. And it's still a hush, hush, don't tell. Don't tell. Just imagine if your child is being beaten and they're told to hush, hush, and then they got to go to school and function. We have to get the help we need out in America as well as across the country. You guys, don't go to sleep on this. Please share this on your Facebook pages, on your Instagrams, on your Twitters, so people can get help. Sometimes people don't know who to turn to or where to go to, and this is their out. This is their way of getting help. So please share this today.
All righty. All right. Brothers and sisters, I thank you guys for tuning in. And like you said, like she just said, please share this. Tell, and when you see somebody, just reach
Yeah.
out to them in a
Hmm.
nice way. Say, I don't mean to get in your business, but I noticed something. If you don't want
Hmm.
to tell me, I walk away. But sometimes you just might have to do that when you see that and
Right.
get it out there to the people. So my
Mhm.
I am her. Underground movement. I am her. I appreciate you
Yes,
coming
sir.
on, enlightening the people about what's going on.
Yes,
I hope
sir.
this program has been a help to brothers and sisters that check. They're gonna check it out because it's gonna be on. It will remain on YouTube and on
Yes.
Facebook. You can pick it up off of my Facebook page. I also offer the Kalamazoo Facebook page. You can see
Hmm.
and hear this program. So y'all take care. Essentially, I will be getting back with you again.
Yes, sir.
And we can do this again and get this word out about this domestic violence, sex
Yes.
trafficking, abuse, and in the home with our children, with our
Yes.
sisters, with our brothers, and sometimes even our fathers.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
we need to
Exactly.
get
Men
it
are
out.
more quiet than women are. They don't want anybody to know that they're being abused. But there's some men out there that are not violent and being abused by women, and they don't want anybody to know. So
Because it's
everybody needs
embarrassing. Because they
help. Right.
think it's embarrassing. But
Exactly.
you know, this help it help is the right thing,
Right.
and you are doing the right thing. I commend you on it. So,
Yes, sir.
brothers and sisters, I do appreciate you guys tuning into. This was a room production product podcast this morning. So, like I said, this is the number you want to call. Call this number. If you want to email, let me put the email back up so you can get the email. Write this stuff down. You can get in contact with this uh, 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 underground. Underground. I am her movement,
Right.
and that this program can grow, and the bigger it grow, the more people they're gonna be able to help. So, my sister, I thank you, and brothers and sisters, y'all take care. I will leave out with this poster that we should open with. Y'all take care and be blessed the rest
Yeah.
of the day. Sister Simpson, you be blessed. You can hold on. I'll talk to you a little after we go off.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
y'all
Thank you,
take
everyone.
care. Right. She said, thanks everyone for tuning in. So y'all have a good evening and the Lord bless you and keep you in the name of Jesus.
Amen. Thank you.